Yo, what's up?
What's
Hey
cracking,
guys, what's
y'all?
going on?
Not much. I just got out of work. I was like, gonna see if I was gonna make it.
Unreal.
I've been working my tail off lately.
Yeah, I love you too. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's been kind of hectic for me too. Getting a lot of calls left and right, just dragging me here, dragging me there.
Unbelievable. What's your average amount of drive time? Like per day? Like do you
In a day?
Yeah.
Man, it could be
Oh
a
my
half hour
God.
day. Could be like 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't like that, Kurt?
That's a lot of drive time.
Yeah, because like, I mean, I guess average time to each call is like 30 minutes on a good day. But like when I get the out of town calls, it's like I got to go an hour one way, an hour another way. So like, yeah, it does add up to maybe even more than that, but it adds up.
It can be 10 to 25 to 30 minutes to a call for me. So I don't know how many hours I spend driving, but I don't know.
Probably
Most of the
not that much, but like, yeah, like, and I enjoy it. I like driving around to all these different cities and whatnot, and it helps me get ready for the next call. But like, it does suck when you're trying to cram in a whole bunch of calls. Like you know, your morning starts or whatever. Like I don't really schedule out, you know, all my days unless it's like a change out or something like that, right? Or a maintenance. The calls come in the morning and later in the, you know, in the late morning too. So then they pile up and then I'm there trying to like do my math, like, okay, like how many can I fit in today and get out at a decent time, right?
I do the same thing. I do the exact same thing.
I know I got a minimum of 2 hours a day just because it's generally 1 hour here, 1 hour there. And but most of the time, like the calls will be in the same neighborhood. So it's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say that must be nice.
You staying busy, Jake?
Consistent again, right? It's this week it picked up and I was down and out. I tried not to, but I was down and out like, bro, either allergy, you can probably hear it. Allergies or COVID, one or the other. And
no, it's allergies. My girlfriend and my son have been like really bad lately.
Bro, it was rough. And I was like, yesterday was the worst. I got a bunch of Sudafed and tissues and all. I stopped at Walgreens. I was like, I was just like, you know, you just go through it like, I don't know. I had the body aches and all that stuff.
And
But,
I'm not. I mean, I mean, my parents never, you know, they let us fend for ourselves when we were younger, right? Like I'm new to all this as a parent because my son has, you know, different conditions that we've had to deal with, and you know, he powers through it. He doesn't complain about anything, but like the allergy thing, I've never had allergies. My brothers, I think one of my brothers kind of had allergies, but I never had to deal with it.
it's the
So
airplane.
he has a pet allergy, and we have a cat in the house and all that. So I've had to deal with that. And then this allergy season that's going on right now, he started getting nosebleeds. And I was like, I've never, like me personally, I've never had a nosebleed. And I didn't know anybody that did. So now I have to deal with that. You know, it's just like, I've never dealt with it.
Well, you know what? So you said your son has allergies, huh?
He developed allergies because he was never allergic.
How does that make you feel as a parent?
Helpless.
You know what we can do to help fix that?
Where are you going with this?
I have a Remy Halo that we can install right inside of your ductwork that will eliminate all allergies.
There's always a way to
hey, that's the bullshit. That's exactly that's the type of way that motherfuckers will try to scam you into that shit. They're like, how does that make you feel? Like, they'll make you feel like you said, I feel helpless. Yeah, of course, but
well, yeah, you can't let yourself be vulnerable with anybody, like a mechanic, an HVAC tech, like anything, because they'll take advantage of you no matter what the trade is. Like, insurance companies, hospitals, you know, everything.
I wouldn't do that.
I don't like selling either. So
that's all I do.
I don't do that.
I am gonna look into it just because, like you, Jake, you said you had that stuff and it
that's what I was
helped.
gonna say. Yeah, tremendously, bro. Like,
So like I am more conscious about like air quality now because of my kids.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure the ductwork's ass here too, but I mean, I know it is. But once I installed all that shit I told you that we have,
you should see some of the restaurants I've seen.
Dude,
Oh, I've seen them around here. I know what you're talking about.
That if it's out of sight, it's out of mind for them, right? Like it could be moldy, it could have
It's
all
above a
this
drop
other
ceiling. They don't see it. They don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm like, geez, all right, you know, I can't force them. I'm not gonna like work for free or do anything for free. So
I got called to one time because little pieces of black fleck was coming out of their ductwork, landing all over the counters.
Hey, what do you think it is, dumbass? Like,
it was the flecks coming apart.
Yeah. And
the inside of the flecks, the plastic was so old it was just starting to break up. And I quoted them a price to replace all the flecks. I guess they didn't like it or got somebody else to do it.
I ain't doing that.
like I said, if they don't, nobody sees it, nobody complains. Like if for me, it's restaurants, right? So like if the customer that eats there doesn't complain or doesn't say anything or can't see it, you know, they don't care. Or an inspector, but like, what does it take to pass inspection nowadays?
That's terrible. Like,
I was going to tell you, Adrian, I think you jinxed me.
What happened?
I had an interview set up and everything ready to go to tour the Heatcraft facility.
Oh, then they found out you was running with him, and that was the problem.
And I think they found out that I know you, and now they won't even respond to my emails.
You know, man, it's because I asked Brett about that, and he's like, you know, they keep notes on everybody, like these companies. So he's been, I think, red flagged too for some of them. But like they shouldn't be like that. They should help us out and talk to us because we're the ones installing their stuff.
Right.
Like,
just continue.
I'm not even going to ask any tough questions. I just want to see the facility.
Yeah, you're not gonna like put them on blast or anything. Like, I mean, if the product's good, then it's good. If it's not, you know, they got to work on it.
Yeah.
I just it's a local facility, and I wanted to go see it.
When's the last time you talked to them?
Oh, it's been months now.
Oh, okay.
I sent them a follow-up email about a month ago saying, hey, I'd still like to come. Silence, no response.
Oh man, I need to double check. I don't know if it's Brett or somebody else that knows somebody at Heatcraft. I'll ask about that. But it's yeah, it's funny because I mean they did that to me when maybe before they saw my videos, and they're like, we're really excited to collaborate together, and then like, yeah, I got left on the red there. I was like, oh, they must have seen the videos. But I've had that with other companies. Like I think we were talking about like Gree and the other ones earlier. Like those, they asked me like in January and some even before that about working together. And then like, I don't know, 6 months later, I get a random like, oh yeah, let's talk about it and follow up. So I don't know. They're just really slow about things sometimes.
All over the place. Yeah.
You okay, Jake?
I'm good.
Oh, but yeah, y'all, we were talking about Gree in our text. I like the Gree products. I do. Their Gree Flex is an affordable, good option for an inverter system, ducted inverter system.
Mike installs nothing but Heatcraft. Heatcraft is everywhere. Like I deal with it all the time. I just happen to record, you know, my daily work. So like if I have an issue, it's gonna get posted.
That's how it should be though. Real world scenarios, man.
But what's up, Mike, Alexander, Eddie, Nasty's in here. Oh, Nasty's work with Mr. Wait, Mrs. Cool. Never mind.
True story.
Rich in Kitchens. Eddie, what's up, everybody? Randy,
What up? What up? What up?
Captain HVAC,
There he is.
grounded compressor today. 20-year-old Carrier R22.
I had a rotor lock one this week. The same shit. I think we were texting. I told you guys two dead compressors in one day. One was
That's good work.
That's picking up.
It is, man. You guys all just steady, or is it like overwhelming? It's not overwhelming yet.
I'm already booking a couple days out.
I mean, hell yeah.
There you go. I'm not. I feel like it's a lot, but I know it hasn't hit yet. So I will be overwhelmed like in a month. Lately, we're trying to get in. I have more maintenance to do because of the damn hospital. They want to do it they want to do it quarterly. So that's gonna. By the time I finish it, it's already like due again. But we have like an AC change out for a newer customer, split system in a restaurant, and I recorded it, so I'm going to show that our guys kind of made a mistake with the measurements, so we're going to have to go back in with custom a frame because of what it's sitting on is too high and the new unit is bigger. So I cut the lines and everything, and then I had to like reinstall the old one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, yeah, my dad's like, can you just braze that back in?
Of course, yeah. That's what I'm here for.
Because like when I get to a change out, I just go right. I'm like, let's start pumping it down, cutting the lines, getting everything ready, and then like you get that gave me that tap on the shoulder, like it's gonna be a no-go today.
Yeah.
So I got to go back to that one. I think we're gonna go back tomorrow.
I'm still getting phone calls.
Right now.
Yes.
All right. Hey, this is the new segment right now. Pick it up live on air. Let's go. Fucking book a call, baby. This is how we get our CRM sponsorship. This Jobber, they have an automated voice messaging system that will send a text message if they miss your call to say, sorry, we missed our call. We'll have a new customer client. You know what I'm trying to say. They do have that, Kurt. And then that way.
Yeah, but they don't support sub customers.
Bastards.
They don't.
We're gonna fix it. We're gonna create our own.
For me, I got a rental company, and all their properties that I go to are sub customers of them. I can't do that with Jobber.
That's crazy. That's good. Because you shut off at 5, right?
I'll stop answering the phone at 5 o'clock.
Okay, I don't blame you. I mean, shoot, dude.
You can do whatever the hell you want when you run your own company.
That's how we have hours. Our hours are set up that way. Like it's hours. But like the same thing. And it's that way online. Like there's some people because like there's a way you'll rank on Google and shit if you leave it open 24/7. You'll go up there higher or whatever. I'm not doing that shit. But
which everybody was doing for a good while. Like that was a thing for a while, especially here on the van, just a big 24/7 on everybody's van.
Be like, bruh, no, like right now for us, obviously it's not sustainable. It wouldn't be sustainable for you, Kurt. I don't know how it is like Adrian, how many texts and everybody.
I did it for years, but I ain't doing it no more.
Yeah, dude, it's brutal, bro.
You get tired of being on call and going out in the middle of the night. 24/7. I got a ad in the Yellow Pages, a little ad about this big. It says by appointment only.
Like now?
Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
It used to say 24/7, commercial, residential. Nope. By appointment only.
I noticed a lot of people started taking them off the vans. Like it's only it's only like a few that like I guess are looking for work. They'll put that up there still, but like we don't even advertise that. And we do take like text messages and emails or whatever comes through. We'll check it and then we'll be like, oh, we'll be there in the morning or whatever. For sure. Because a lot of our customers we've had for a long time where we can do that. And we just tell them, or anybody that calls, we prefer if they leave a message if it's after hours. So unless it's a freezer that's down or something like that needs to be fixed right then and there. Like I don't work too many weekends or after hours anymore.
Yeah. I went on a call last.
And they take advantage of it too if you put that.
Oh yeah.
Freaking calls like at 5 o'clock, and it's for something so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to him today. I was like, let's adjust it on the Google. I was like, to like compress it down that way. It's like, okay, after hours charges start at 4. You know what I mean? Because they always call you, right? You know what I mean? Because
Friday at 4 o'clock,
bro, and you're just like every time you're an asshole,
And we in my line of work, it's like walk-in boxes and stuff. So they're like, yeah, they can tell that it's been iced up, and they're like, yeah, it's been iced up. We thought it would thaw out or something. Like, why the hell would you think that? Like, call me in the morning, not at 4:30 or whatever.
Yeah. And then, y'all already know. That's how it gets down.
And we didn't used to charge overtime. So, but that was us trying to get work in the beginning, right? So it was just a flat rate the whole time.
Yeah.
And around here, once we implemented that, and even when we raise prices, like they throw a fit. Like I'm like, it doesn't cost that much to you. Like if you really need the work, that's gonna guarantee that we go out there,
Yeah.
Brian, the unit has been down for 3 days, but it's an emergency now. Yeah, it's probably. I've seen so many that are like iced up, and you can tell it's been iced up for like a day or two, and then they're like calling you at 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
I got one rental company that likes to give me a call at 4:30 on Friday.
Oh, that was the comment I just pulled up. Friday at 5, my AC stopped working. See you Monday.
Yep.
Yeah. But I did one of them little shorts on that because it had like just happened. I was like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this. You get those ones. It's funny, dude. It's so comical when we look back on it, but in the moment, like I haven't had I have, but like a serious like meltdown moment, bro. Like we're like, all right, it's Friday. You would just ran like 10 calls. It's like 7:30, 8 o'clock. Then they're like, hey, we got another one for you. You just fucking punch the shit out of everything, and then yeah, I don't know. It just that's
before I worked for myself, I worked for another company, and I got called into the office after one weekend because I wasn't being a team player. The thing was, I would do like 8, 9 calls through the day, and come about 6 o'clock, I'd go home.
Yeah, facts.
But everybody else was working until like 9 o'clock, but they weren't doing but like 5 calls the whole day.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm pulling my weight.
Straight up.
Why should I have to work till 9 o'clock because these guys are going so slow?
Like, let me see them numbers. Let me see them numbers. Who's being more productive with your time that you're spending?
Well, they didn't fire me.
Yeah. They just demoted you from team captain.
Yeah, it's funny when we implemented our overtime, we charge good on overtime rates. So like,
yeah, straight up, like
the calls just stopped after 5.
Yeah, like dude, we can definitely come out there. Dude, we got a company around here. It's 329.
Dude, I was at a guy's house today. He's got a friggin' elevator in his house.
Yeah.
It's a round tube, and I was looking at it, and I asked him. I said, "What is that?" He goes, "Oh, that's an elevator. You want to ride in it?"
Yo, did you ride?
No.
Like I've ridden elevators before.
I've never been in an elevator in somebody's house.
Was it just like a 2-story or how many stories?
It was a 2-story.
Yeah.
Was the dude disabled?
No.
He just had money and just wanted to
have
spend
one.
it on it. Yeah. There's a lot down here. You'd be surprised. Well, not really, I guess. But
I ain't never seen that.
Yeah, it's funny.
I try to refrain from calling his house the Taj Mahal because he's Indian.
Oh.
You racist son of a bitch.
But it is
The Taj Mahal, bro. You can say it.
marble floors, marble columns, 4 air conditioners. I mean, pool in the back. It's just a really nice house.
Yeah. I do like going to those homes. Like,
Do the Walmart still have gas stations? I think they do here.
Mine does.
ours does, yep.
I think we got one just remodeled recently too.
But it's not called like Walmart. It's something.
Murphy. It's Murphy here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's something. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. That just caught me off guard. I was looking at the comments.
Solid. I'm with it.
Oh, and let me tell you about while I was at this guy's house with the elevator.
Yeah.
The number one problem he had was his filters were dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really thinking about it. I'm thinking of him like every other customer. I said, hey, you need to go change your filters. And he said, well, I changed them last year. And once again, I wasn't thinking about selling or trying to get something. But before I left, he wants me to change his filters and do preventive maintenances. And
yeah.
So it all worked out.
There you go.
It's a good customer right there.
I went to a customer today, a new one, and she had their previous company told them she didn't need to change her filter, but every 6 months, and it's a single, like a 1-inch filter. I'm like, I'd advise against that, and it's an apartment style air handler, so them joints is just sucking in everything. I said I wouldn't go past. I mean, I don't recommend the 3 month just because of Florida, like just the soil and how like dirty the state is. But I say like I advise people to look at them every 30. So the guys on the last company told me 6 months. I was like, not for this one.
6 months.
Too mad. Yeah, this one was gray. Like it was fuzzy gray. But some people, I don't know. I mean, that's just the way some people think, I guess. I don't know. Unless they want that thing. It was a 15-year-old system. Maybe they were trying to get that thing to fucking suffocate and blow up,
I've seen some pretty bad filters.
Right.
It's bad when you ask them, okay, show me to your filter and your thermostat. And they go, what filter?
Yeah. Yeah, that's I didn't know.
You're lucky if there's one in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with our customers, they're supposed to change out the filters, right? Because it's a fast food.
They gotta do that.
But do they?
Regular. Yeah.
But they always forget. So I get called out there, and then I'll remind them about the filter, and they're like, "Oh yeah, about that."
Stick it to them.
No, I know. I still charge my trip, and I'm like, well, because they always have like a ladder. That's a cool thing. They always have ladders, all that in the restaurants. So I always tell them, if you want, I mean, I'm already here. I'll change it for you. I'll change out. They usually have like 3. I'll change them out for you, and just charge you my time.
Well, here's what I do. I don't carry many filters with me. If I'm at a customer's house and I got to go get a filter, I'm charging an extra half hour, and then I'm charging for the filter. And it might be a $5 filter, but my charge for just a regular like 2020 filter is $14.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's not bad at all. I charge more.
$49 here.
What I tell people with pricing is just, I mean, you can do that for like the cheaper stuff if you want to just mark it up a little bit, or you can have like a minimum. Your minimum for anything could be like, I don't know, $20 or something, $25. You just make sure you charge good for it, because like that's a convenience for the customer.
For sure.
If not, you can just tell them, go get it yourself.
I always recommend they get them, right, to have them throughout the thing. But I said, I always tell them, like, it's generally the maintenance customers. Like, I like Kurt. Do you stock any on your truck at all, or are you just like?
I try to keep some 20x20s.
Okay, that's a good idea. And what I'll do is, I say, hey, next time we do come out here, I reiterate to them to let us know if you need them, and I'll write it in the notes, or I'll say we'll just bring you a case, because what's really the cost, and we'll just charge them. I said, but it's like $10 extra. Like we get those them 4-inch ones, they're like $45, $50, and we'll charge like $64 or something. You know what I mean? Same. I'm at the supply house anyways. It's no big deal. You can get them on Amazon. You know what I mean? Don't need to get.
user error fee. I went to a call today. Y'all remember the Pro 5000 thermostats?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's an original one, and then they came out with another one that has like a little plastic piece that sticks through the sub base. So the new thermostats weren't compatible with the old sub base.
Oh, okay.
But you could just clip off that plastic piece and cut it off with a razor, and it works. Well, I went to one call today, and that's what it was. Somebody had put a new one on an old sub base, and it wouldn't fit, and it wasn't making connections. So I trimmed off that little piece of plastic, and I charged the guy for a full hour, and he complained. And I'm like,
well, I've had that argument in my comments before, but go ahead.
And I'm like, I could have charged you for a new thermostat.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be thankful.
There you go.
I know. Imagine, right? Because they don't know any better. They called you in the first place. You could have just taken it off the wall and put a whole new one or something, and
they would have never known.
And they wouldn't have known, and charged them like 3 times as much or whatever it was. But I always tell people that too, because like I've been told that in the comments. I can't remember where, because I get it everywhere. And they're like, oh, the capacitor one. That's the one that people always comment on, like changing out a capacitor. Oh, you were only there for 10, 15 minutes, this and that. And I'm like, the trip out there, having it on my van, like I have a minimum. Mine is like an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, depending on how far it is. Like, I don't care if I'm there for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, like there's a charge, right? That's because I don't charge anything on top of that, right? It's just a trip. So my minimum to go out somewhere, that's what I'm saying. It's like sometimes an hour and a half, because I don't have like a service fee or a trip fee or anything like that on top of it. Then some companies like layer on the fee.
Well, what you can do is start your time from the moment you leave.
Yes, that's what I started doing. That's what I started doing, because we used to have a trip fee or service charge. I forgot what we called it. But it got kind of confusing, and then sometimes our guys would forget to add it in there when we did it by hand and stuff. So then after a while, I was like, well, we need to just have a minimum, right? And what I started doing was exactly that. Is I started charging for the trip over, right? So wherever I leave from, like if it takes me 30 minutes to get there or whatever, I start my clock. Yeah, that's what I started doing.
And I'm going to tell you something else I do. I work for several big rental companies. If I have to go to an address 3 times to get somebody over there, I'm charging for every time I go over there. If they want to pass it on to the tenant who said they were going to be there, that's up to them.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm charging.
Oh, man.
That's like with me when they try to get us to do the quotes for like everything, like a contactor. We need a quote for it or this and that. I was like, okay, I'm going to come over there, charge you the trip for checking it, charge you the trip for giving a quote, charging a trip for this and that. Like, I'm just going to charge you for every trip now. And it added up, and they stopped doing that crap.
Get them.
Do y'all remember the quote I told y'all about last week, where the veteran wanted his veteran discount, and
they wanted that like really nice system and all that?
Was putting me through the ringer, wanted HVACR, wanted American made, and
so what'd you do?
I got a polite text that said he's decided to go with somebody else.
That's the best.
And I probably spent 2 hours working on different estimates, making phone calls, and
that's the part that sucks. The extra hours. I've talked to Josh, home guide, about that. He's like, we put in so much time into things off the clock that don't get accounted for sometimes.
My price is my price. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
What did you find now?
Riley.
What was that?
It's my little thing I hang my camera with.
No. Did he shoot your stealth mount? Not stealth mount, but the quick connect thing?
Riley.
Look. Oh, yeah, my man really giving
you
this.
I can still use it.
Just tie it back together.
I'm gonna tie it together. Yeah.
But yeah, like he probably talked somebody else into giving him all those discounts.
Well,
that's a headache that you don't have, right? Because I've had that too, where I'm trying to make a customer happy, and I'm like, well, I'm not making crap on this one.
yeah, I know it. So it sounds like he would have been a bear to deal with once you got it installed. He never would have been happy.
Yeah.
Call back, check, complain. Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad I didn't get it.
Sam Andrew brings up a point. I made this point in my comments when I got like attacked for the capacitor meme. I was like, what do you think? Like, you're paying so much for like insurance, hospital, like the aspirin that you take at the hospital. What about when you order a $5 meal and it ends up being like $50 because it's Uber to your house? There's fees for everything, convenience, and all that.
I don't know. You guys know who Tommy Mello is?
Mm-mm.
I don't think so.
So he's a garage door dude, but he's one of the big guys in the home service space, and he really makes a really good analogy about a fucking pizza costs $1 to make. How much you paying for a pizza? Even if you get Domino's at $6.99, you're still paying 700% markup on it, or you know what I mean? He's like, most of the time your pizza is $1 to make, and it's $20-$25. So it's like, bro, so you're gonna complain same concepts, you know what I mean?
It's just the stuff that we deal with is expensive as it is for us to buy it. Then it's like, oh, it's so much more, and they're fine paying $20 for a pizza or whatever.
Right? That's what I was like. There we go.
Yeah, because that's something I learned right away doing restaurant work. Because they would have like a bulletin up in the back, and I guess it was just to make sure everybody knew, like the cooks and the waiters or whatever in the back, how much the product was, and like I mean, maybe if they like lost product and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So they had up there like the bacon and like whatever they used, and it was like pennies, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and then they make up the plate, and it's like $1 for that whole damn plate, and it's like a $15 meal or whatever.
Yeah. What's that shit? Restaurant Impossible? No, one of those. It might be something like that. But they would do that, yeah. And they would like, look, here's the meal. But it costs 76 cents for everything. You can charge $19.36, and you're like, son of a bitch. You know what I mean?
I know, but it's still really hard to make money in a restaurant business.
Like running a restaurant or fixing their stuff?
No, running a restaurant. It's hard for those guys to make good money.
Yeah, definitely. We make a lot of money fixing their stuff. Captain HVAC is talking about a maintenance contract he had. They called them over for maintenance, but knowing the unit wasn't working to avoid those service fees. Did you guys ever have that happen to you?
Yeah, and I immediately tell them, hey, you don't need a tune-up. You need a service call.
Yeah.
So what you do, this is, we'll say, hey, you'll ask, you call for maintenance, cool, okay, you get out there, or not get out there, you ask beforehand, is there anything wrong with the system before the technician gets out there? And if they say no, you'd be like, okay, or, if they still try to avoid it, we still go out there as the technician. I tell them, be like, hey, before we can even go further with the maintenance, we're going to have to do a diagnostic, and there's going to be a fee for that before we can perform a maintenance. Like, it is what it is. Most of the time, I mean, you're already there. They're like, okay. But another way I do it is if it's something, we'll reduce the dispatch fee and do a maintenance, or depends on what the charge is going to end up being, but we'll reduce it if we can get them on the maintenance plan or something like that too.
Well, my maintenance price is like over twice the price of my diagnostic.
So we have a single maintenance. Yeah, our maintenance plan is twice as much, and then the maintenance is like $120, like for a single maintenance, and dispatch fee is $99. So
yeah,
either way, I'm like, all right, well, what I'll do, I'm gonna charge you that little $120 on the maintenance, make an extra $20 on it, and whatever. But since I've been doing our thing here, we haven't had as much of that issue.
Yeah, so sometimes it's the reverse, like you just mentioned. You get called out there for a trouble call and realize they just need a maintenance.
Yeah, and you just be like, hey, and that's what I'll do.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
right? You're like, hey, like a drain line, biggest thing. Like, I'll just do like a maintenance, like a quick checkup, do all your SOPs, spray the shit down real quick, and then I'll to get them on the plan. The cost to do that, anyways, you know, to go do the drain and the cleaning, or the drain and the dispatch fee would have cost what the maintenance cost. So we're gonna save you. It comes us like $59 or something like that. That way, and then that's it. But
You know,
Yeah, it happens like that a lot because like a lot of the calls I get for especially one customer that still refuses to get maintenance is like it's usually the dirty coils or like a backed up drain.
and you're just like,
I have started charging a flat fee for clearing the drain.
mhm.
It's $45 because I may need to use CO2, nitrogen, or
Oh,
my
yeah.
vacuum.
That's cheap, Kurt.
I don't specify which one I use, but it's $45 just to clear the drain.
Okay. On top of your rate.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Okay, yeah, that's something similar to us because I started using the little CO2 cartridges and all that. Like, I just charge the same for anything if I'm just using like nitrogen, water, or the CO2. Like, there's it's similar to that. It's just a fee.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
that's
we got
worked out best.
leveled, like if we use drain solve or something like that, because you gotta let that joint sit for a little bit and permeate, cap them off, and all that good stuff. Yeah, no, we charge $159.
Riley's spending time with me because my wife's in the shower. Normally he would be with her.
He's like, I'm so lonely. I need something to chew on.
He wants to chew on this.
He's trying to get it back.
Looking right at it like, Pop it up.
Well, he ate the AirPods, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole story with that.
Oh, go ahead.
Go deeper.
Okay, my wife was asleep and she heard him in the bed making some kind of noise and got up and her hand hit something hard. And it was the case to my AirPods.
Easy, Kurt.
So she goes looking for my AirPods. She walks outside and he starts throwing up. And when he threw up, there go my AirPods.
Oh, man.
All chewed up and
that was going to be my question is like where did the AirPods end up? Like, did he actually eat them out? And then you got it. Well, I didn't know where they were going to come out of though.
He ate one of them that he threw up, and the other in the white box they come in was so chewed up I couldn't close it.
Oh,
it was just a disaster. I don't know if I'm gonna buy any more.
Yeah, right. At that rate.
Yeah, they're not cheap. Somebody had asked about the GRI. I'm not familiar with them, but do they have downflow ducted units?
I think you can make the air handler downflow.
Okay. I'm looking into them myself.
Because they advertise it as multi-positional, basically saying you can set it up any kind of way.
You guys got contact points with GRI. Somebody call them up right now. Let's get them live on the show. Let's get the people the answers they want, man.
We're gonna start having guests on here.
Well, do some shit like that. Just I don't know. Do you guys watch Pat McAfee? I think I said this.
Yeah, I've seen him.
And they'll just like randomly like FaceTime somebody like, hey, you're on the show. You're on the show. Like we should just do that to like, I don't know, like.
Hey, I do have the little mixer I have does have for me to take phone calls. I was gonna say that. I don't know if we'll get to do that.
You know something? I work at one apartment complex. I've been doing it for like 10 years. And I get a call from one of the ladies that lives there. She likes to make me fudge.
Nice.
I know it. She's just a sweet old lady. But she calls me and she said, I got to tell you, are you still working out here? Because I saw somebody else working out here. And come to find out, it is somebody who has an appliance repair business, but they're not licensed to work on air conditioners out there taking my work.
I've seen it. I've seen that happen.
Bro. That's wild.
That's the good thing is you being like who you are, because we do that too. We talk to everybody that we work for, whoever is at the place of business, right? They'll let you know if something else happened, and they'll be like, "Oh, where have you been?" or "So and so is here," or something like that. I get a lot of like feedback like that too.
Yeah, they'll let you know.
Damn.
Out there, appliance guys taking your work.
Right, bro.
Yeah, if I can catch them doing it.
I have one that has been at one of our newer customers. Like, we've been doing work for them for a while now, but they're unmarked, so I have no idea who they are. But I catch them every now and then.
Yeah.
And the thing is, part of me is pissed off at this person. The other part of me is pissed off at the company for using this person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like recently we had that. It's the one that I told you where they had the walk-in box that they couldn't fix, and the manager was all pissed off. They were just like, I think they sent my dad a text after or during that, and they were like, "Oh, no hard feelings. We're just trying this out, and this and that." And it's like, well, we've been doing good work. Why would you even do that? But whatever.
You'd shove it.
The grass is always greener on the other side.
Yeah, but now they're calling us even more because we had to go back and fix everything.
They always come back.
I always tell people that because we've gone through it several times, and like, as long as you do good work and you take care of them, like, they always come back.
Preach.
I call this my West Coast look.
I'm with it. My man.
When the brim's kind of flat, I call that a West Coast look. I was raised in the heart of the South, and we bend our brims.
Yeah.
You don't like the flat brims, Kurt?
It's not that I don't like them. It's just
how it was done.
That's about as flat as I can go.
It's a good look. It's a good look. I never could.
What do you guys do when you get sick? Because a lot of us work for ourselves. This guy Chris had the flu for 3 days, but still ran his calls.
That's what I think I may have had, to be honest. Yeah,
I got to go get it.
Yeah, that's what I say. Right? I'm like, well, who else gonna do it, bud?
About cut my finger off, and I still had to get out and go get it.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah, I've worked sick. I just have to be very careful. Like, but I'm mostly on rooftops, so it's not that bad.
Adrian's usually in the prep area, like
coughing on everybody's food.
Yeah, like, oh my man.
You got to get it. There ain't nobody else to call.
There we go.
If I ain't doing it, it ain't gonna get done,
bro. If I real talk, like today, like this week was a good week in terms of all that stuff. Still, like I did a compressor yesterday, man. But sucked. Like I tell you, like I was done, but I did sell a system. You know what I'm saying? So, like, all right, well, if I didn't get out here, this wouldn't have happened.
Hey, what's your opinion on filter dryers and the condensers?
Hate them.
Stupid. The unit was a Daikin, so I had to that was this. So you got to take the whole freaking electrical compartment section out. I'm like, stupid. And I was gonna film a video yesterday, but I didn't.
I know why they're doing it.
So at least they have one
to make sure there's one there.
Yeah. Yo, they gotta somebody, like, you know how Carrie got the damn on the liquid line to screw in the piece of with like the piston on it. Just have a prefab like filter dryer. It's the same way that just screws in on the ones. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something to do simple, but no, that's true. Like I know that's why, but it's still bitching you in the system.
I got to go replace the dryer in a Goodman.
So dumb. Yeah.
It's in the condenser, which means I'm going to move it out.
Yeah.
And pull a vacuum so I could get this guy some air.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do it over the weekend.
And then it's not 3/8 going from the. It's like what 1/4 inch or something like that, or 5.
Oh well, the Goodman's is 3/8.
That Daikin wasn't, dude. I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, and I didn't, I said to swedged a piece over it. I was like, this is stupid.
Reen used to do it too.
Did they?
Some of those old rectangle condensers.
Uh-huh.
Some of the older ones have dryers on the
Oh
inside.
yeah, right underneath the electrical.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, because we have a Goodman here that has a dryer in it. Now, when I first moved in, there was a leak in the evaporator, but someone had just worked on it, so it was covered under warranty. They came back and took care of it. I noticed they put a dryer in the attic, and they left the dryer in the condenser. So like it's just bothering me. I want to
Yeah,
go take it out.
A buddy of mine he guy I used to work with down here. He did have a YouTube channel, and he just did it just to try it out. He put one inside and one outside just to see if it would
everybody
make
there?
a difference.
Yeah.
I lost y'all for a second.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess
speaking
it
of
was me.
lost, I'm gonna hop off, guys. I don't know if you're gonna close out or not, but if not, would like to say
I'm gonna look through some of the comments real quick, and but if you need to go for it.
well, go ahead, go real quick, see if there's anything cool in there. But no, I'm gonna go. Everybody, it was great, guys. I'll see you in the chat later.
Peace out.
Later,
Krauss. Did you see his video today?
Did he drop one?
He well, right before we got on, I was watching it. No, but it's the bike one. So it's kind of cool though.
So hilarious.
It's kind of cool though. I'm not gonna lie.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
if y'all hadn't seen that video, go check it out.
Go check out Jake's newest video. I thought it was awesome. Like it was funny though. Whoops.
Yeah, those Goodman dryers, they are a pain. I've replaced so many of them. I've got it down to a science. I just unswept one end, cut the other, put me a piece of 3/8 in there, bend it so it just fits in there, solder it up, and then put it outside.
Do you do that from the top axis, or how do you do that?
No, I got to open it up underneath the control panel. I got to pull all that loose and get to it through there. You okay, Adrian?
I don't know if it's my internet. Are you okay? Now I lost you for a second again. So, Captain HVAC was working on a Goodman. So, like I said, I know that we have 2 dryers now, and I'm tempted to take it out, but I don't want to deal with it because I know they're a pain.
Yeah. Just leave it till one clogs up.
And I guess they didn't want to deal with it either because they just put one up in the attic. Let me see. Every time, I have a commercial building client. Every time I give him an estimate for a replacement, he hires someone else for cheap and then calls after a week. The install unit's not working. It's always low voltage. I've had that happen too. I'm giving out quotes here and there, and then they go and get somebody to do the install for it.
It gets frustrating. I had this one rental company I was working for. I was giving them low rates as an incentive to get more work.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have me go out, and every time I would diagnose a new unit, I wouldn't get the job. And then I'd come back maybe 3 or 4 months later, and there's a new unit there.
Yep.
And I confronted them about it. I said, look, at least give me first dibs on the job. I understand if you're going to get estimates, but that's why I'm here. That's why I'm giving you these rates, so I can get the big jobs.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a little confrontation about it. And I eventually just told them, if it's not in your business model to give me these jobs, don't call me.
It's tough out there when you're doing when you're doing work like that and you're trying to help them out, and then they just go and like get somebody else. Because I had that issue recently because, like I said, I'm doing maintenance for like a couple different customers. So like there's one where it's like an AC maintenance, and all the repairs that I recommended on the last route, when I got to the next one, it's every 6 months. I started seeing them all like already all the repairs already done, and we hadn't done them, right? So I saw like 3 new compressors. I saw a new blower motor, and I don't know what else I had found. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Like, it really sucks because you're trying to help them out, and they give somebody else the work. And a lot of this stuff they would not even have known had I not like written it up, right? And the other companies getting like free work out of it because they didn't even have to diagnose it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Rudy, this happens to me. They call me back on the worst days, and then they want you to hurry up and get there. And so, like, saying you want me to fix the cheaper bid. Yeah, you're always gonna have some problems with a cheaper company or a cheaper bid. I just had that recently. I know we talked about it last time, but that whole walk-in box that I'm still surprised that they paid that much money for that. It's not the right equipment. It's not installed right. Like, Jesus. And then I have to go out there and fix everything, right?
I mean, just looking at the picture, you're like, there's got to be something smaller that goes in there.
Well, that's the weirdest part is that they already had something there. They were just replacing it. So all they had to do was go like for like. But no, they went and got a bigger system and shoved it in there. I was like, this is like the dumbest install that I've seen probably ever.
Looks like it'd be horrible to work on.
I don't even want to. Like, I did what I did, and I barely had any room in there. But like, I was like, I'm just gonna do what they asked me to. All it was a drain issue. I basically had to reroute the whole drain and cut a hole out and everything. And I was like, okay. And the other bid that I gave to fix like the door issues, they decided not to get it done, and I think they were going to do it themselves. So like, I just did what I had to do, and I charged, pretty good for that, and I got out of there.
That's frustrating though.
But that's the friend of mine that I had. I mean, it's not his business, but he's like the one that kind of gets the bids. He's a project manager, all that. So like, I've done a couple of favors for him just to be, considered, because we were talking about like other stuff like change outs and maintenance contracts and all that. So I had to deal with a couple of favors there in hopes to get back on that list there for like the big repairs, because I kind of fumbled that last time, and he ended up, well, I mean, we didn't have time to bid. They wanted to bid like that day or something. I was like, I don't have time to do that. So we lost those. They got new equipment and stuff. But hopefully like that starts something.
But you know something, that company I told you about that would get somebody else to install, they were buying their own equipment and then getting an unlicensed contractor to install it. So they were actually bidding on their own jobs, even for property that they were just managing. They were bidding on it like an air conditioning company. And it got so bad that other contractors notified what we call CAG around here. That's a Conditioned Air Association of Georgia.
Yeah.
And they launched an investigation and came down and tried to catch them doing it, but they wouldn't cooperate and nothing was done.
Man, that sucks.
But they were buying Trane air conditioners. They were able to stop them from being able to buy those anyway.
And that was what was that for again?
That was the rental company that was giving my installs to somebody else, doing them for cheaper.
Yeah, because we've had that with restaurants, but I think they're allowed to buy their own equipment. I don't know how it works. I mean, once we had issues with them, we just kind of left that business altogether. But I've seen where they can buy their own equipment, and I guess they're allowed. That whole thing, I don't know the exact wording for it or anything like that, because like technically, I think a homeowner can work on their own equipment, right? Like as long as it's their property or something.
Yes.
So like there's something like that for like commercial, like for restaurants and stuff, because they buy their own equipment. And I've seen where they hire like a maintenance guy or like a little crew, and then they try to get them to install it, and it just looks like crap because they're not licensed either.
They don't know what they're doing.
No, and they just kind of duct tape it together or whatever.
Well, technically, what this company was doing was illegal,
Mm.
and they shouldn't be able to buy air conditioners in Georgia. It's illegal to buy a Freon unless you have an EPA card.
I think that's most places, but like
So how
here,
were they able to buy an air conditioner full of Freon?
I haven't looked into it because that's the whole thing. There's other, too bad Jake is not here. There's other channels that will point you to websites that sell full blown air conditioners, and I thought it was just like mini splits or something like that, you know, like the Mr. Cools and stuff. But I decided to go look at the website, and it's full blown like name brand air conditioning package units, or not package, split systems. And I was like, I didn't know you could do this. And apparently you can buy it online. I don't know what the requirements are, but like from the guy that I saw advertising it, any homeowner can do it. Like you can go online and order equipment. It'll show up at your door, and you can try to install it yourself or hire he tells you how, like if you watch his videos, you can do it yourself, or you can order it and he's going to help you save money. And then you go and like hire a company. I would be very pissed if I had a customer call me that they ordered something and they want it installed. I don't know about you.
I don't.
Yeah, like I wouldn't do it.
I tell them, first of all, there's no warranty, and second, I only install what I buy.
Yeah, like you're not going to do a warranty or anything on that.
And some of these companies, if they find out it's an internet purchase, they won't warranty it at all.
Yeah, and then like some people act like we're like gatekeeping, or I don't know what else you call it. Like we're trying to have a monopoly, or I've heard it worded so many ways, but it's just like it's liability for us, you know, installing something that we don't know where it came from, having to deal with warranty, all this other stuff.
Are you talking about Dave?
Yeah, I was trying not to name. There's a couple out there that will tell you how to fix your own equipment, which I mean, a homeowner can do some checks here and there, but I wouldn't advise anybody that doesn't know how to like handle tools or voltage, anything like that. Like that's where it gets a little dicey, right? Like
wait till somebody gets shocked, or
yeah, like I understand the guys. I understand the DIY guys, or the you know, if you're a mechanic or a handy person, you do something in the trades, right? But like your average homeowner is like an older couple, an older lady, an older, you know, somebody that doesn't know anything. That's why they're calling to get their AC fixed, right? Those are the average homeowners. Like I wouldn't want any of those people sticking their hands in an AC equipment. Well, good guy was saying that restaurants, yeah, they do it all the time. We've dealt with that. The one that we have now still allows us to buy stuff for them. It's just like if it's like something stupid expensive, like they're gonna replace like all the ACs at a location or something, they'll buy their own. You sign saying you're going to the loophole, Mark says, is that you're going to sign something that says that you're going to get a licensed contractor out there. So I guess that's how you buy, like a homeowner can buy stuff. They just have to say that they're going to hire someone.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
There's loopholes everywhere, man. Do you think AutoZone should be banned?
AutoZone.
I guess he's talking about like comparing it to like us, you know, like how we don't want homeowners to do their own equipment. I'm assuming he means AutoZone is something that you can go and buy stuff to work on your own car, which I do. But I'm not replacing a whole damn like transmission or engine on my own. Like I'll go to AutoZone to get a few things like spark plugs or fluids or brakes, you know. I'm not doing anything crazy. I don't know. There's an argument for everything.
Well, isn't that what Ted's whole YouTube channel is about? Telling people not to try to do it themselves?
Whose channel?
Ted Cook.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a DIY guy, and then there's the anti-DIY guy. But Ted Cook, I don't watch like his videos religiously, like a lot of them, but he does like other stuff on his channel too, right? Like he has like a garage with cars and stuff.
If I watched it more, I could tell you.
I watch it every now and then.
I read his description on his channel, and it basically says that the channel is to show why you shouldn't try to do it yourself.
I mean, stuff can happen. I've been hurt on the job plenty of times. But they will sell you an alternator and radiator. I don't do my own alternator. A radiator is just 2 hoses. You take it out, put a new one in. There's not much to that one. So it's a little different than an AC system. There's high voltage, refrigerant burns, like the list goes on and on. I've seen people, or I've heard of people get hurt by the capacitors too. So it's never happened to me, but
oh, when it does, it hurts.
Has it happened to you?
Yes.
They warned us so bad in school that I just always made sure I discharged it, and I still didn't like, touching the terminals or anything.
Well, here's the deal. Riemann Rude used to use these plastic capacitors, the gray plastic ones, and on the top there were dividers in between the spades.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen.
So you couldn't just short it out with a screwdriver.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I used a pair of needle nose to try to short it out, and I thought it was shorted, and I picked the thing up and put my finger on it. It lit me up.
Dang, I've never had it happen, but I heard so many horror stories.
I've had another one time where I was reaching into a cabinet, power was off, and my hand hit the capacitor that was on the blower, and it shocked me, and I jerked back so hard I dented the cabinet. I put a big old dent in the cabinet I had to straighten out.
Oh man.
It'll make you hurt yourself.
Yeah, I've been hit with, and that's another thing that I've heard of too, like where maybe you don't know that a disconnect or a breaker or something is bypassed, because believe me, I've seen it. I had one at a hospital of all places. We shut the power off, or I thought we did, and I still got shocked by the disconnect because we had turned the breaker off or something, and they could also be mislabeled or anything like that. I've had that happen too, and then I get a little shock, and I'm like, nope, that's not the right one.
Oh, what are you doing? Sticking your finger on it?
I don't know what I was doing. I think I might have had like something that wasn't insulated, and I was trying to remove something like a breaker or like a switch, and then something touched and like gave me a little jolt. I was like, nope, we still got power.
I had a bypass disconnect one time. I did not even know it until I had the contactor in my hand, and I'm trying to get the lug off, and it shocked me.
I think that's what happened to me.
And I was kind of like grabbing a hold of the contactor. Bypass disconnect. So check every time. Check every time.
Check everything. Check it twice, 3 times. Let me see. Not too many homeowners want to be in an attic in the middle of the summer either. That's some don't want to change the filters in the attic too. That's my whole thing too, is I appreciate when I have to go to a professional for my car, or like for anything around the house, because I'm not going to be sitting there all day trying to figure out how to work on something that I don't know, or I'm going to be there like with a YouTube video pulled up next to me. Like sometimes you got to get a professional.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
I'll have to check that out, Eddie. One of my videos, I accidentally touched the cap. It makes for good content.
Well, did it shock?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go check it out. He said I had that happen to me on a video once too, but I forgot what I did. But it didn't shock me. I accidentally burnt something. I mean, accidents happen. Hell yeah, caps suck when they hit you. Oh, when the tech wire nuts the disconnect. Yep. Nasty. I was replacing an outlet for a dude yesterday, and I smoked it when I turned the breaker on. Found the damn wire insulation worn through the box. Yeah. Wired a wrong 3-phase disconnect. Almost got me.
Oh, what do you do? Put power to ground? You know something? I replaced a 3-phase commercial system one time, and I had some guys helping me. I was there to wire it up, and you got to turn on power to check the phase rotation.
Okay.
So they had already run the wire, and they flipped on the power, and it just went. The whole package unit went. And one of the guys had his hand on it, and he goes, "Oh, I think something's wrong. It just shocked me."
Yes.
So they had run one of the power legs to ground and a ground leg on the contactor. So we had to straighten that out.
Yeah, the issues with the ground, because I've never seen that exactly, but I've had units that you touch it and it freaking shocks you. And like that was when I started, and we found a lot of weird units wired up just crazy. And I've had that happen to me, but that was at the beginning of my career. Like I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was like, why is this unit like it's dangerous? You're going up there and it freaking panel.
You know something? I've been on a system one time where the condenser fan motor was shorted and shortened the ground, and it would shock you when you touched it.
Yeah.
Because it's not tripping the breaker. It's not tripping the breaker. It's just steadily going to ground.
Yeah, that stuff is weird, because I had a couple recently that were shorts. One of them did, because they're fused. I think, yeah, they were both fused disconnects. One of them did pop a fuse. The other one completely missed it, and it tripped the breaker. Like you never know with these things, like how they're gonna trip or how the ground is gonna be. You could be the one that gets a shock out of it. And the ones that I had that shocked me were not, like, they were working fine. Something must have been rubbing out, or something must have been miswired, where it would just shock me every time I touched it.
I've been across one where the outdoor unit would shock me even when the power was off.
I swear that happened to me once, but then it kind of, like, after a while it stopped. But I was like, I know it was off, and it still shocked. I don't know.
That happened, and at the time I was kind of young and in the trades and never figured out why it was shocking me. But it had to be something from inside that was making it happen.
Yeah, it's the same here. Like all that stuff, I remember it's happened to me, but it was like when I started, so I don't remember like ever, going back or figuring out what it was. But like I learned from there, you never know, so always check your voltage.
I've seen another case where a shorted compressor outside was causing the cabinet to throw sparks around where the line set came in.
Oh, no way.
It was sparking, shooting fire. And it was because the compressor was shorted to ground.
Usually when we have shorts in the walk-in boxes, they'll complain that there's a fireworks show in there. We've seen that before. HVAC obsessed, had to replace a blower motor after an apartment maintenance guy blew it up, letting it run in reverse. I had a guy do that one time for me in a RTU. I guess they went out there to change out a motor, left it in reverse, and then I got a call, but nothing crazy happened. It was just a lot of condensation because it wasn't blowing air properly.
It will blow a little bit, Not much.
That's what threw me off. I thought it was, and then I got up there and like I was trying to figure it out, and I'm like, okay, something's not right. Finally went up there, and it was a 3-phase, so it was wired. It wasn't wired right. I just switched the leg.
Off 2 legs, yeah.
Yeah, and it was color coded. I don't know how they messed it up. It was blue. It was a Carrier, blue, yellow, black. They mixed up the colors. All right, I think that's it. Went through the comments. I think we'll get off. I don't want to be on here. I know we've been on here for a while. So yeah, I appreciate everybody for coming out.
Yeah.
All right. See you
Good
guys.
seeing everybody.